Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Stoop Tea. So, my name is Rosa Enid.
And I am Liz Santana. Welcome back, guys.
You know that yesterday I was at the mall with
Mm-hmm.
my boyfriend because I've been working again on site on set, and the weather here has been super bipolar, super crazy. In the span of 1 week, we had snow, rain, ice, and then all of a sudden it was like 60, 70 degrees and sunny. I don't know. It's been like the weirdest weather. I wanted to get just new shoes that were for all weather types. I have my winter boots. I have my regular shoes, but I didn't have like certain sneakers that can fit for everything that were light and not heavy or whatever. Because if you know me, when I'm on set, I do a lot of walking everywhere. I legit do like you saw. I sent Liz the other day like how many
She's like,
miles.
this is how much. Yeah. She's like, this is how much I do in a day. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm like, I go to the gym and I don't even do that much. God, that's what, girl.
That's why
I'm
when
trying
I
to jerk
work,
off
I'm in
shit.
shape when I do work. Because I do like 10 or 12 miles a day, which is crazy. But just walking on set or going back
Back
and
and
forth.
forth
Yeah.
doing stuff. I know you don't sit down. I've actually had the pleasure of working
Yeah.
with Rosa on set. And let me tell you, she is like the freaking behind the scenes guru. No joke. Cause she is everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
She's dope. But she does walk around everywhere because all you hear is Rosa, 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 Rosa. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of hearing Rosa's name. Lord.
Exactly. Dude. And then I wear a walkie. So at the end of the day, I feel like when I'm trying to go to bed, my ear is just ringing my name all the
Mhm.
time.
You hear it
It's
whispering, Rosa,
weird.
Rosa.
Yeah. Because of that, I was like, okay, I think I need shoes that are going to be for this crazy bipolar weather. So my boyfriend's like, you should get hiking boots because they're light. They're like not heavy boots at all. So they're
Hiking
light.
boots?
Yeah, hiking boots. Yeah, they're awesome.
Mhm.
Like I put them on, they were so comfy that I was like, I love these. But either way, we went to one store. They didn't have my size in any of the
Mm-mm.
boots that I actually liked. And I'm like, okay, so they didn't have my size, whatever. Let's go to the next store. And me, like, I'm gonna shop. I was like, oh, I need sneakers too. Adidas has a sale. So I was like, let me go into Adidas. And
That sounds like
girl,
something I would do.
I don't know what happened. We got in an argument over shoes at some point, and I'm like, dude, like an argument over freaking shoes that at the end of the day, when we got home, we're like, that was the stupidest argument. We're like arguing about
Well, that's a good thing. You
freaking
guys both
shoes.
noticed that it was a dumb argument.
During quarantine, we were together most of the time, more than often.
Right.
And even now that I'm working on site, the days I have off, like we try to be together when we're off and spend time together. But I do feel like we try to do so many things together when we have the time that it's like we don't really have time for ourselves, or at least I don't feel like I've had time for myself. Like
Gotcha.
I've at work, I have, like you said, 20 million people talking to me all day. And then when I'm home, I'm like, okay, I have to spend it with my boyfriend. So I feel like myself obligated to do so many things, even though
Right.
I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I want silence and I want to be by myself for
You want
like
to be in your room in silence,
for,
maybe.
for at least an hour or
Right.
something.
Right.
So anyway, today was a nice day because it was like I was alone and I got to do things. I got to do the errands by myself and do whatever I had to do around the house. It was just nice. And it
Right.
just made me think of how many times like couples do this thing where they feel like they have to spend every single moment together. And at
Right.
some point, you guys are going to get tired or feel like you're suffocated. Like we need to have moments where we do stuff together. You know, I love hanging out with him, but there's moments where you need to also have time for yourself.
Like when it comes to a relationship and each person in the relationship needs at least a day every 2 weeks to themselves. And when I say that, I mean going out with friends, having a freaking drink, or going to the mall or shopping by yourself, or just being alone, or leaving the house for like an hour. and just being alone. Or like us ladies, for example, when we go do our hair and we're by ourselves, or we go do our nails, you just like need that time to yourself. I believe that 100%.
Yeah, I think it's nice to break out of your routine that you may have daily by doing something that's for yourself. We're so used to like living our life in a routine, waking up, going to work, coming home, cleaning, cooking, going back to sleep, getting up again, repeating that sometimes we feel like we're losing ourselves, you know? I
Right.
at least I do. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not doing any of the things I love. Like you feel tired, you're exhausted, and you're like
That's dangerous.
don't
That's
want to deal
dangerous
with life.
because the thing is like that can also lead to like we mentioned before, resentment in relationships. Like that leads
Mhm.
to that. It can also lead to feeling like not necessarily resentment, but you can also feel suffocated with your partner. And your partner's not necessarily suffocating you, but you feel suffocated because you don't have any time for yourself. You're kind of like you said, losing yourself in a sense because you're like, you have work, you have this, you have to maintain the home, you have to do grocery shopping. On top of that, you have to spend time with your partner. You have to clean, you have to do this, you have to do that. So it's like, when the hell do you have time for yourself?
Exactly. And it's not like I don't miss my partner because when I'm working, obviously, and I work 12-hour days, he's a firefighter. So sometimes when he has a shift, it could be for 24 hours. So
Right.
when we don't see each other, we're constantly texting or talking when we can. Like, I miss you, or I'll catch myself like I miss him. I can't
Right.
wait to have I can't wait to have a day off so we can hang out. But then when you do, if you guys are, for example, me, I know I was exhausted. Um,
You look
things
exhausted, just saying.
Oh.
I mean, you're still beautiful, but you look exhausted.
I know it's been some long hours. But yeah, because I was tired, um and I was like forcing myself to be up and chipper and go out and hang out, that at the end of the day, what did it do? We ended up getting into a petty argument over freaking shoes and shoe sizes. Like
Well, maybe have you stopped to think about, maybe he feels the same way, not as like, not saying that he feels suffocated or anything, but maybe he feels like, ugh, I don't have time. I don't have a minute to myself either because his days are long also.
yeah.
And he misses when he's off. He's like, yeah, I gotta spend time with her because I miss her.
Mhm.
And not even, and not necessarily that you're obligating him to spend time with you. Just he misses you and he pushes himself to spend time with you. But here's the thing: you guys also have alternating schedules because his schedule, I know for a fact, is sporadic. Like it's a mixed schedule. It's never set.
Yeah, like his schedule's more set than mine though. So he'll have like, as a firefighter, depending on the county and wherever you are. So he
Right.
works a 24-hour shift and then he'll have 2 days off. But
Okay.
sometimes he also does like paramedic or EMT as a part-time on the side. And when he
Right.
does that, those are 12-hour shifts. So he does work a lot sometimes. And I guess like me, like I have
He's
a
close to Superman.
yeah, I have a freaking 12 when I work, it's 12 to 15-hour days or so, and that's not including commute time. So think about it,
And
like
you work 5 hour day. I mean 5 days a week, sometimes six.
sometimes 6. And then when we do have off, we're like forcing each other to do something together because we miss each other. When honestly, I think if we would have just taken a nap yesterday, everything would have been fine.
Although it sounds cliche, it's really true. Like when you are with someone, it's always nice to know, or it's nice to be with someone that you could literally be sitting or laying down in a room with and simply enjoy each other's company. Like enjoy the fact that you're next to each other
Yeah.
without even having to say a word. Sometimes that's necessary. So you guys can just sit and just watch something that you guys can both enjoy in silence. Like it's horrible to be in a relationship like feeling suffocated, but also some people can also get stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think it's important like to do have some hobbies, have things that you do that are not with your partner. because yeah,
Right,
there's
right.
there's a lot of things we like to both do together, but
Hmm.
there's also things that I'm pretty sure he would want to do on his own where he doesn't feel like he has to include me all the time, and vice
Right.
versa. Because I think in a lot of relationships, people do this too, where they feel like I have to do every single thing with my significant other. I There's people that are like, if my significant other doesn't go, I'm not going.
Not only is that your partner, your romantic partner, but that you also want that person to be your friend because you spend a lot of time with that person. So you have
Yeah.
to be able to speak to that person. And I think it's really dope.
But I still think that sometimes it's important to do your own separate thing. I think that I've seen it in other relationships too, where people
Right.
just go with the flow of life and the relationship and don't ever think about, is that going to make me happy? Do I even want to do that?
But
And
that's tricky because I feel like a lot of people can get so caught up in being like so involved in a relationship and they don't even realize that they're losing themselves.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they're losing their identity. And a lot of people lose their identities in relationships. Someone told me once in a relationship is 50-50. Once you give 51 and that person gives 49%, you failed. Just that simple. You failed because you have already decided or made the mistake of giving a little bit more, even if it's just 1% more of yourself than you should. When you're with someone, it's that person should only expect 50% and you should expect 50%. You know, like you guys always have to meet halfway. And it is important to always keep your own identity in a relationship and always, like you said, it is important to spend time apart, spend time with your friends, have girls night for you, have guys night for him, like going out, doing different things because you need that time apart. And we're not just talking about time apart from for work or whatever. You need a time apart from yourselves.
yeah. Not like you're, oh, I need space, like you're breaking up or anything, but more like we need to do our own thing, reconnect with our friends. And then, you have your boys' night. I have my girls' night. And at the end of the day, or we come together and then we bond over our day. We keep saying that people sometimes lose themselves in a relationship. And I think it's mostly women that feel like they've lost themselves and who they are in a relationship, because a lot of the times we put our needs in the back burner because of the family or for whatever reason. And it's always usually us who are like, start to feel like we're losing ourselves, or we're like, we're not the same
Mhm.
person that we used to be. The one thing that's wrong with that is that it affects your relationship, because then
It does.
you're changing, or you have resentment, or you don't feel like the woman that you were when you fell in love with this person.
Or
And
even before, you don't feel like the woman that you were before you met this person,
exactly, like
you know?
sometimes women will get to a point where they're like, who the hell am I? Who have I become?
Right, right.
And
You
it's
wake up with 2 kids, you look to the side, you got a husband and 2 kids, and you're like, who's you wake up, and you're like, whose children are you? Men can also lose themselves as well. They just don't talk about it. We're more vocal. Men lose themselves in the sense that sometimes they can throw themselves more into work. They work, and then they get home and they just want to do like they drift off. It's like you don't even exist. Like the kids don't even exist. And sometimes I feel like that's because men feel the same way. I feel, but we're just more vocal about it. We're more open to saying, "Hey, I'm lost," or "I feel suffocated," or "I don't know who I am," or "I've given so much into this relationship that I don't what the hell? Like what's going on?"
when you get to the point where you have no desire to do certain things, it's really time to
Right.
evaluate your life.
Right. Time to evaluate your life, your relationship. Where do you see yourself? Because sometimes we end up in relationships that we don't picture ourselves in. We change. We're human beings. We change all the time. And I've said this before. We change all the time. We are constantly evolving. Our personalities are changing. We're changing as people. Experience make us change. We get wiser. We get smarter. So we're constantly changing and we're constantly evolving to be better people, right? Because the goal is always, I mean, I think most people's goal is always to be better than be better of a person tomorrow than what you were today. Sometimes in a relationship, you guys kind of like when you get together at the beginning, you you guys get along so well. You guys have great communication, this, that, and the third. But a couple years pass by and you throw some kids in there and you throw marriage and bills and responsibilities, or let's just not say kids, you just throw responsibilities and life in there. Sometimes people grow apart and you change, you both change, and you stop liking the things that you used to like. Just like that other person can stop liking what he used to like,
Mhm.
you know? And without knowing and without noticing until it's like boom, like a slap in the face, you guys are two completely different people and you don't even know who the hell's next to you. And then you ask yourself and you're like, wait, but you're not the person that I met. But then again, that's not his fault. And he could say the same thing, like, well, you're not the chick that I met. And it's not your fault either. It's just time. And people change. You grow and you learn things. Like right now, to be honest with you, when I was 18, 19, when I was graduating high school, I wanted to be a makeup artist. I wanted to become a cosmetologist. When I got into college, I took up nursing, and then 2 years later, a year later, I ended up with like with a criminal justice major. And then after that, I just, life happened and now I'm a freaking accountant. I would have never thought that I was going to be here. You just feel like you need time, right? You just feel like, you know what? I need a minute to myself. Like we don't need a break, but I need an hour break. I need a mental
Yeah.
break from you and everything.
I just needed a day
That's
with no work and
right, right. Like you
nobody
just need
but me. Yeah.
believe it or not, as a parent, sometimes I need a mental break from work and I need a mental break from everything and everyone, like even just the people around me. And not because they're doing anything to me, not because they're like bad people or anything, just because I need a freaking break. Like my brain can't take it. My
Mhm.
brain cannot continue to process the amount of information that is processing at the time. You know what I mean? A lot of the times I ask myself and I tell myself, like, you need a vacation, like a getaway, a 3-day getaway, like a vacation where I can go somewhere and get ridiculously wasted with my friend and act like I was 18 again, or maybe 21, 21. Okay. Act like I was 21 again. I need a weekend break like that because your mind needs it. Your mind asks you for it. You ask yourself for it. Like sometimes that's necessary because as a mom, I'm not going to lie. And this doesn't make me a bad mom. And I know it doesn't make me a bad mom. Um, Sometimes I feel like I need a break from my kids. I need to get away from them for like a day or two. And I just need a minute. A lot of the times that makes me still feel suffocated when I can't get that. It doesn't always have to be in a relationship. In a relationship, it could be with your kids. It could be with, or even with work.
Yeah.
Just recently, I had an episode where like I left work and I was so stressed out and I was so like overwhelmed that a lot of the times I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, how did I end up here?
Yeah.
And then I ask myself, why am I getting so comfortable? Why do I feel stuck? Like I'm not moving.
Mhm.
Like I know time is passing and I know I'm making money, but I'm not moving. Like I'm stuck in time.
Yeah, and that's when you have to reevaluate how you're feeling in that moment and take that time to yourself to kind of think about, why am I feeling this way? What's wrong with me? And you write that, you like self-analyze yourself, and you need that moment. Imagine going
Yes,
straight home
I
from that
do.
moment, imagine going straight home from that moment and you're trying to you don't even assess your own feelings, because then you get home and you're like, oh, the kids need you, my husband needs me, the house needs me,
Mhm.
everything needs me. So it's like you would have had a freaking breakdown at the end of the night, or the next day at work you would have
Yeah,
blown up. So you
yeah.
knew, like, I need a moment, I need to be by myself to figure out why I feel the way I do.
And a lot of the times, actually, if I'm being brutally honest with you, a lot of the times I don't get a moment to myself.
Yeah.
I don't. And you know what I do? Like sometimes I just when I'm feeling that way, I lock myself in the bathroom.
I did that at work the other
I'm
day, but
not
it
kidding. I'm I'm not kidding.
was
I'll lock myself in the bathroom. Or when I'm driving to work, my mind is like at 100 because I know that that's the only 15 minutes of the day that I'm gonna get by myself.
Driving, right?
my commute to and from work. Sometimes I even miss going on the train to like having to take the train to go to work. I miss the commute from home to from home to school, from school to work, from work to school. Like I miss that commute because that hour on the train, I feel like for some people it does wonders. I know for me it did.
It's funny you said that because um, I locked myself in the bathroom at work the other day for a while, like not doing anything, only because I was like, I need a moment, just like too many things going on. So I just sat there, like, I don't have to do anything, but I'm just going to sit here for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I
You gather
found,
your thoughts.
yeah, and I found myself loving my commute's really long right now from home to my job, but I actually don't mind it. Like I missed driving. Like
Yeah.
during the pandemic and everything, I didn't go anywhere. I was home. And even when I was remote working, I would remote work from home all day. And then, then I'd either hang out with my boyfriend and my dogs or do whatever. But I was always
Right.
at the house. I never had like a moment where I was to myself, because even by yourself working, you're still having like to do Zoom meetings or phone calls and all this other stuff that
And
it's not you
emails,
by
text
yourself.
messages.
And it was even more, I feel,
Yeah.
when we were
I know what you
working
mean.
from home,
It is
like
more.
it was more because
It
you don't
is
have
more.
everybody in the office to just all communicate the same thing to each other. It's like you have to do extra communication, extra steps. It was all extra. And now that I've been driving, even though it's a long drive, I don't care. Like I freaking love my long drives, which is
Love
ironic.
it. Yeah, you could take in the morning. I know that I'm blasting my music like is I don't give a shit who's next to me. You don't like it, move up. You know what I mean? But in the morning, I know I'm blasting my music or I take a minute to listen to a podcast
Yeah.
or I listen to the radio or like I don't listen to anything at all and I'm just thinking. Now that I'm going to the gym, I love it. I love it because although I'm in the gym, um with a whole bunch of people, I have my headphones in. So I'm to myself. Like I'm not talking to anybody. And before I was thinking like, oh my God, I need a gym partner. I need somebody to motivate me. And the other day I was walking on the treadmill. I was warming up for my workout and I found myself thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't want anybody to come to the gym with me. I want to
Exactly.
be alone.
Yeah. I
Like I
felt
need
like
this
that.
moment. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I need this moment for me. I don't want nobody. I don't want a gym buddy. I don't need nobody to. I can motivate my damn self.
Yeah, I think it's giving you that rediscovering yourself because you're by yourself with your thoughts and
Yes.
you're thinking like, I really love this and I don't have to rely on anybody to come with me. I can just come by myself and all you have to
Right.
rely on is yourself. And it's a great feeling. It's like you're
I'm not gonna lie to
rediscovering who
you.
you are.
My favorite part was not having to talk to anybody.
Mhm.
That was my favorite part. Call me antisocial. Call me whatever the f you want to call me. My favorite part was not having to talk to nobody.
And I know that for us, especially like what we're talking about right now is like just needing a break to ourselves. But then there's some people that don't realize this, that they sometimes don't know if it's like if it's my partner that's making me unhappy or making me feel suffocated. Do I need a break from the relationship or do I just need to be alone and have a break to be by myself and explore myself again? Like, how do people tell the difference of needing that break or just not being with the right partner?
There's a difference between a break and a breakup. A break is just like, hey, I need a week to myself.
I feel like sometimes a partner will be like, okay, I understand, do what you got to do. But then there's other ones that'll be like, what do you mean you need a break? Like, I need a
Yeah,
break
so what you
and
need
I'm
that break
tired.
for? I
Uh-huh,
know what you mean.
exactly. So
Um,
it's, it comes
mhm.
with communication, I think, at the end of the day. Like,
Oh yeah,
if
definitely.
you are not comfortable or feel like you're able to talk to your partner about, listen, I'm tired. I need a break from doing all these things, or I need a moment to myself. If you're
Mm.
not comfortable with having that conversation with your partner, then maybe it's you have to reevaluate that maybe you do need a break from the relationship because
Yeah.
sometimes in relationships, you're going to all have those moments, no matter how perfect you guys are at the beginning. It's life.
Me personally, I know when someone's not meant for me. I know it. Like I could be in a relationship with someone for a year or two. And once I start to get to know that person deeper, I start to realize like, this person's for me or this person's not for me. One or the other, because I'm very analytical. My brain does not stop at all.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
easier when you're dating. But when you've been together, you live together, or you have kids, it's kind of a little
No,
more difficult.
wrong, 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 100% wrong. I feel like a lot of people that are married do not talk about this. When you're in a marriage, just because you're married to somebody, just because you're with someone for years, like I told you, people change, people evolve. You or your significant other can change, and you're gonna change. That's inevitable. Sometimes divorces happen in relationships. They're inevitable because sometimes one person will wake up and say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And that's what I mean. People, no, it doesn't matter. That doesn't necessarily mean for people that are dating. Because people that are dating are getting to know each other. It's your when you have a boyfriend or when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're dating because you have the relationship has potential to grow into something more, right? Or you have hope that this relationship is going to grow into something more, right? That's the purpose of dating. But let's not forget, my mom always said this: you never know someone until you live with them. Breaks are for people to be able to have a minute to themselves and gather their thoughts. Because when you don't get breaks from it, your thoughts, that's what causes confusion, cloudy thoughts, not knowing what you want, not being clear on where you're going, what you want, what's making you upset, what don't you like. And a lot of people don't know, and I'm trying to get to it. A lot of people don't know how to put themselves first. Boom, that's it. A lot of people lose themselves in relationships. They completely forget who they are, and they start putting their partner and their relationship first, and they stop um investing time in themselves.
I'm like, so ladies, take that break if you're feeling tired or exhausted. And then, it's these moments where you have to have self reflectment, self realization of
Yeah.
the life that you're currently living. Especially, I think now in 2020, the year that we've had last year, so many people have changed. So many people have realized um, that their life that they're not happy with their life, or they don't love what they do, they don't love their career, and so many people are changing and making changes, and it's affecting obviously themselves. And when you're in a partnership or you have a family, sometimes that clouds your judgment, like you said, and it
Yeah.
doesn't um help you realize who you are as a person. So just taking that
Right.
break, that hour, that whatever time you need to find yourself and find yourself
Invest in
basically.
yourself. Because I'm going to give you an example really quick. My mom devoted her entire life to raising her children. She sits down and she thinks about it and she's like, yeah, when I was young, I didn't take advantage of the time. I didn't go and I didn't study more, or I didn't go and I didn't work for a social security or a pension. I didn't do like I stood home and I raised my kids. And your father was the one that went out there and did what he had to do for himself. And now he has something and I have nothing. And that's an example. And I take my mom's example very seriously because I think about it and I'm like, do I want to be like that? Do I want to be like my mom in 20 to 30 years after my kids are raised? That I don't have absolutely anything to show for, or I've been in a dead end job for freaking 20 to 30 years and I've gone nowhere. I've progressed to nothing and
Yeah.
I'm not proud of myself. You know what I mean? Because I mean, everybody defines success differently. Ladies, do you want to be one of those women that you devote yourself in your relationship wholeheartedly and you give it your all for 20 to 30 years? And when you look back, you say, well, my partner went to college, my partner did this, my partner did that, my partner has this, my partner has that. And what do I have to show for it? I don't have anything. I raised my kids. The best that I could. That's all I have. And although some people would stop and say, "Oh, but that's so meaningful." Yes, but what about you? Because what a lot of people don't realize is children don't need a mom or a dad that gave it all up for them. No, I'm sorry. I was raised in a home like that, and that's not what I needed. What I needed was my parents to show me like, hey, go get what you want. And it doesn't make you a bad parent when you stop and you go after what you want. Because what you're teaching your kids is to go after what they want and what they need.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having a family and also still going, although having a family, that doesn't mean your life stopped. You know what I mean? You still can go out there and you could still do better. You have to know how to stay true to yourself. And ladies, gents, just because you take time for yourself, and just because, specifically ladies, because I know that mom guilt could really beat up some women, because I know it beats me up sometimes, but don't be afraid or don't feel like a bad parent if you go out there and you freaking have a girls weekend getaway, or if you go out for yourself, or if you know what, you decide to go back to school and you want to study and you're not spending enough time with your kids at the moment. That's not for the rest of their life.
No, yeah.
That's only for a little while. And you're working at becoming a better parent and a better person for yourself. And when you can be the best that you can be for you, then you are going to be the best that you can be for your kids and your family. And I think that's important.
Amen to that, sister.
Hey. Sorry, I'm over here sipping on my mimosa. I'm trying to get into my thoughts and my feelings, guys.
But yeah, guys, take that time for yourself. Always remember to put yourself first. And your partner, if they love you, if you guys are meant to be, it's gonna work out. Like we've always said. And together you guys can figure it out, or you go apart, you figure it out, and then you guys come together. So with that, we're gonna wrap the episode up. If you guys have been feeling this way, or if you guys disagree or want to share your story, let us know. You guys can send us an email at askus@stooptea.com. That's ask@stooptea.com.
Yeah. Or you can please follow us on our Instagram at The Stoop Tea and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Stoop Tea. Thank you for your support. We love you. And yeah.
Well, thank you guys. And I hope you guys have a great night.
Woo, bye.